Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me already, my name is Natasha, and if you're new here, hello, pleased to meet you. Today we're going to be talking about planning a baby moon, and of course you can see I'm so excited about that. My husband and I are expecting our first baby later this year and we can't wait. We are planning to have a little baby moon before this baby comes, and in this video I'm going to cover what is a baby moon, why you should take one, and then how to plan one and fit it into your budget, because we all know now is not the time to rack up any kind of debt, although it is a good time to go away, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's get into it. So number one, what is a baby moon? It's pretty much just like a honeymoon, except you're pregnant and you're expecting to have a baby very soon and your life will change significantly. But it's got all the fun benefits of a honeymoon, which I'm sure you can imagine, but also it's a great time for you to spend some quality one-on-one time with your spouse before you're going to get a little bit busier and there will be someone else in your lives or more children in your lives than there had been to date. Now, it doesn't have to be extravagant, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, I mean, unless that is how you prefer to holiday with your spouse, and if you can afford it, of course, do what works for you and your spouse. I think that is the most important thing. If you are thinking about a baby moon and what it should look like, take a holiday with some quality time in a way that you and your spouse love to do things together. So if that is taking an excursion off to some hot Caribbean island, then do that. If it is just touring your local area, then do that. Or if you like to go camping, this may be a great time to do something like that. Whatever it is for you guys, whatever helps you to connect and whatever you enjoy to do together, this is what you want to be doing on your baby moon before you expect your new addition. Now, number two, why should you take a baby moon? This is so important. I think marriage is first priority in your life after God and before children, and so this is sort of the perfect way to put a stake into the ground like a flag and claim that marriage will forever be one of the things that you take most seriously in your life, especially ahead of children. And I know some may not agree with that, but it really is. If your spouse comes second to your children, your marriage is really gonna suffer. So I think this is so important, and having quality one-on-one time after a baby, I just hear, is difficult. And I believe all the people that are telling me this over and over. And so what better way to just make sure that you start this parenthood journey off right than starting off with a baby moon. And so number three, how do you plan a baby moon? I'm going to cover things like the time, the destination, accommodation, and food, and then maybe a little bit of activities. So first, the time. So you have to think about the time. How much time do you actually have realistically to get away together? Now, keep in mind, this is probably right before you'll be taking off some time to actually spend with the baby once it's here. And so you may not have ample amounts of time to take either vacation from your work or unpaid vacation. They may not be super happy with all the time that you're going to spend away. But you could structure it around something like a long weekend if you have an extra day here or there, depending on where in the calendar you are. You could maybe afford to do an extended weekend where you have an extra day either on the Friday or the Monday. Or you could just take a weekend away. If that is all you've got, that's still better than nothing. Worst case scenario, you have no holiday, no vacation, and your schedules just don't line up and you can't take a weekend away. Take a day away. Take a day away. And maybe you could even do this twice before the baby comes. Anything that it takes to actually make this a priority. So think about the time that you have to take away. And then also consider, where do you want to go? Now, this will be highly dependent on how much time you actually have to get away. And so if you don't have a lot of time, you probably don't want to be jet setting off to somewhere far that will take you a lot of time to travel to. And so maybe looking for something a little closer would be a better option for you. If you've got an extended period to get away, then sure, that could affect the destination and you can plan some tropical destination holiday if your time allows. But depending on how much time you have, choose your destination and then also keep in mind how you will travel there, whether it be by plane, train, car, boat, walking, whatever it may be. Factor in how much time you have, how you'll get there, but pick a destination that both of you will actually love to spend some time in. It may be a place or a destination that you both love or haven't explored before but always wanted to. Use this time to get together to a place that you both love and enjoy. Next, you want to think about your accommodation. Now, this will depend on where you're going, of course, but this can generally be the most expensive part of a holiday trip away. And so consider how much time you have and how much funds you have. And some ways that my husband and I have gotten around this before is by either camping or booking an Airbnb for an extended period of time. It gets cheaper after you stay, for example, a week or a few weeks. The more time you book in these places, the less expensive it gets. So that's something to think about. You could also consider maybe doing a house swap. I'll leave a link down below for a website that you can sign up and see if you can exchange houses with someone. And now if you're really feeling daring, you could rent a car that is big enough where you can put the back seat down and sleep in the truck. Bring your own pillows and bedding and make the best of it. And then worst case scenario, you could just sleep right at home and do a day trip, and then you don't even have to worry about the accommodation, but the priority is that you're still getting away, so it's totally worthwhile. Now for food, of course you could eat out and enjoy all the local amenities available to you, but if you're pinched for money, there's a lot of ways you can save on food. You could bring your own food with you. You could make sure to pack some lunches if you're going on any day trips. You could also buy some bulk snacks and bring those along. That'll be much cheaper than trying to snack and eat on the go. Especially if you're going to a place where, you know, fast food can rack up really quickly if you're constantly buying food that way. You could buy produce locally and cook your own food on your trip. You'll just have to make sure that you're in an accommodation or some kind of space where you can actually cook your own food. And then of course you could also bring along some freezer meals and just heat them up in a microwave. You could even buy a fridge that you can plug into your car and bring your food along that way, or you could bring some freezer meals and then heat them up at local libraries, or sometimes if we're on a ferry ride, for example, they'll have a microwave where we can heat some food up. Lots of ways that you can actually just have your own food and not be spending all of that money on someone else making food for you. Unless you want to pay someone else to make all the food for you and you just take a relaxing break. Totally up to you, but there's some variations depending on how much money you have to spend on this trip. And then what activities to do on a Babymoon trip? Well, this will depend on what kind of couple you are and what you enjoy to do together. So brainstorm some ideas of the things that initially connected you, like sort of that time that you were dating. Imagine that just extending over into this period now and you getting a date that just lasts a little bit longer, more than an afternoon and an evening, but maybe a whole weekend or a whole week. What are the things that you would love to do together? And so that may include something like hiking or camping, maybe exploring a nearby town, going for a long drive, taking a picnic to a provincial park, or maybe visiting a local beach. Maybe you could go to any art galleries or art studios in your area. Maybe you could thrift some local thrift shops, or see all the coffee shops in your area and sort of eat cake at some of them. I don't know, something like that. Things that you would enjoy together. Maybe you could even meet with a local forager, or if you enjoy history, you could meet with someone who can take you through town and give you a history lesson. Yeah, whatever is specific to you as a couple, what you enjoy doing together. Surely there's got to be something. You fell in love for a reason. There's something that connects you, and so find something that both of you would really enjoy to do together, where you would be able to spend quality one-on-one time and learning and exploring. So that was just a quick summary of what a Babymoon was, why it's important that you take one before this baby comes, or any of your other babies come if you've got many children, and maybe some ideas for how to plan it. And so I hope that you found that helpful, and I hope that you also are convinced that if you are pregnant, congratulations, plan a Babymoon. It is worthwhile. You'll be so happy that you did it, and any time, quality time with your spouse is never wasted. And so I hope that this has given you some ideas, and I would love to hear where you go. So if you do go places, or you have any other tips that you could share with me for our Babymoon, or for anyone else here who is looking for information, please would you leave us a comment and we can all learn from you. And if you would like this video and subscribe to this channel, that'll really support us and help us. And you can catch some of our upcoming content, which is usually me cooking or baking something in the kitchen, or out in the garden growing some of our food, or taking trips like this, or any other kind of camping or boating excursions. So if you're interested in that, please, we would love to have you stick around and catch some of our upcoming content. Alright, see ya, bye.